So today, folks, we're going to be going over the recent releases of Dispatch and Arc Raiders. Arc Raiders all day, gaming it every day, all day. That's not actually true. But we are going to be going over Arc Raiders. Had to take a break from gaming myself to do this video, but I wanted to go over Arc Raiders and Dispatch and their recent releases because I think they're both, in my opinion, in their space going to become the standard. So Dispatch was actually a Telltale game that's recently come out that's got a lot of traction. The makers of the Telltale game, Dispatch, actually made a different Telltale game back in the day that also was very good. It's skipping my mind. I want to say, it's called The Wolf Among Us, and that game I believe had a 99% overwhelmingly positive review page on Steam. And to no surprise, I believe Dispatch is sitting at 91%. But that being said, the game looks really good. The game is probably one of the better Telltale games to come out in a long time. It is double the price of The Wolf Among Us. And in my opinion, and this is what I'm seeing across the space, in my opinion, somebody would rather spend $30 on a game like Dispatch than $70 on a game that maybe has way more hours overall, like Assassin's Creed Shadows, but nobody wants to play Assassin's Creed Shadows because just because you can do more in the game doesn't necessarily the more is better, if you know what I'm saying. And Dispatch, I think, is kind of this tool that's going for quality over quantity, and I think that's really sticking with people. I think people really like, I think his name's Aaron Paul. It's Jesse from Breaking Bad's voice acting abilities. I think people are liking it a lot. Again, it's the Critical Role cast doing the voice acting of the other characters, I'm pretty sure. And I think that pretty sums up all the characters in Dispatch for as far as voice acting. If I miss anybody, I mean, they all seem to have done a great job. I haven't seen a clip of the game and I'm like, this voice acting is not the best. Like when I view Ghost of Yotei, I look at Ghost of Yotei and sometimes I don't view it as the best. Some early quick little rants, side sesh. Some quick little rants. If you're doing a voice acting job and you're like really good 90% of the time and then 10% of the time, we notice as players. And we noticed in Ghost of Yotei, and I'm not saying Ghost of Yotei is a bad game. My friends like the game. They just feel that sometimes the voice acting does drop off a little. And so I would suggest actually playing Ghost of Yotei in the Japanese version of the game because the voice acting is noticeably better than the English version. Not to say that the English version is bad. With, I think it's Akira who's doing it, the voice actor who voice acts Valkyrie in Apex Legends. Again, quick little side tangent. I just want to give some props to the Asian or the Japanese voice actor because they do an incredible job. Not saying that Akira does a bad job. I'm just saying her job with the role just isn't as good, and that's just a fact. Moving on to Arc Raiders. Arc Raiders similarly has overwhelmingly positive reviews on Steam, very positive reviews on Steam with over 16,000 reviews already on the game, 91% of which are positive. So very positive. A lot of people seem to recommend the game. A lot of people like the game. A lot of people are making some funny jokes. But getting over to the critiques of the game, the 9% seem to be critiquing the game not due to quality of the product, but due to the price tag. And this game, I believe, is 40 bucks, or it's either it's in the $40 to $50 price range. Which, by the way, would I rather pay $40 to $50 for Arc Raiders or $70 for Assassin's Creed Shadows? I'm buying Arc Raiders all day. And I mean, that's just a fact. I'm buying Arc Raiders all day because why would I spend $70 again on a sub optimal product, a product that I don't think was good, a product that is incredibly mid at its price tier. This product is in many ways a superior product to Tarkov. This product doesn't have nearly as many cheaters as Tarkov. The amount of sweaty gamers that have gone outside and still play this game over Tarkov is immeasurable. On top of that, the third reason why this product is maybe superior in your opinion than to Tarkov is if you're new to the looter shooter genre. If you're new to the escape shooter genre, this is the game I would recommend over Tarkov because of the fact that it's not as you don't need as much knowledge to get into it as Tarkov. Tarkov is great if you want to really get into it, and it's also not that great because of hit reg issues, because of hacker issues. But besides those issues, there's in the plausible pay to win issues. But besides all of those issues, which are massive issues, and I'm not downplaying them at all, you still have to have an immense wealth of knowledge to truly get into the game. And Arc Raiders, you don't need that knowledge. I would similarly say that Hunt Showdown is a lot like this game in the way that you don't need that much knowledge to get into it. However, I would say this game plays a lot differently to Hunt Showdown. Hunt Showdown has a lot faster TTK. And I would honestly say Hunt Showdown, since the 1896 update, is a worse product than this. But I mean, Hunt Showdown is 10 to 20 bucks cheaper than this game, depending on whether this game is $40 or $50. And a lot of people are saying that they like the game. The game's great, but it's not, and this is the critique part of the community, the game's not worth the full price. They're seeing the price level being more worth the $40, $30 price tag, which I think is fair. I think that's a fair assessment if you want to say that. I don't necessarily disagree with that, but I'm not necessarily for it. I think that the amount of maps this game released with, the amount of challenges this game released with, I think it's worth the 50 bucks looking at a extract shooter genre. I think it's worth the 40 bucks. It's $40, $39.99. That's what I think it's worth. I would buy it for that much. Would I buy Dispatch for $30? Probably not. I'd probably wait for Dispatch to come down to 20. But I mean, honestly, you're gonna buy the game if you like the looking of if you like the way the game looks. If you think you can get your money worth at that price point, I would just get the game. Dispatch, the thing with Telltale Games is like, it's only 8 hours long of gameplay, but you can go back and you can play the different plot lines within Dispatch. So really, you're getting a lot more gameplay than that. And then regarding Arc Raiders looks really interesting, and it looks like you can get a lot of gameplay out of it. And there's a lot of content and a lot of for the escape shooter genre. Usually you don't have that many maps. Like Hunt Showdown, I think, has 6. Tarkov has a lot, but Tarkov's been out forever, so that's kind of to be expected. But Arc Raiders has a lot of content. The game looks very interesting. The healing is, the TTK is longer compared to Tarkov and Hunt Showdown. Those games are both one-tap headshots no matter what, I believe. Tarkov might actually be different, but Hunt, any gun, you can one-tap headshot basically, except for Derringer. So I think, these games, they're telling you what gamers want, because they're both loved. They're telling you what gamers want. And then obviously our RV There Yet came out as well, and people like that game. And let me tell you something, I will never get mad at FriendSwap, because FriendSwap is just multiplayer games. That's what they're called, buddy. They're just called multiplayer hangout games, where you just hang out with your friends. You're just trying to be casual. I honestly don't understand the hate with FriendSwap, because it's not even really slop. It's just people like to hang out with friends. They like to play the games with friends. Let them play with, let them have their fun. There's no reason to get mad at somebody because they like RV There Yet. They also liked Reaper, and they also liked Lethal Company. So There's no point in getting upset about that. I don't understand the criticism. It looks like a great game. Dispatch and Arc Raiders look like great games. People are saying they're great games. They look good. They feel great. So I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say I suggest you getting both these games. Would I get both these games? And this is the comparison I'm gonna ask. Would I get both of these games, Arc Raiders and Dispatch, or Battlefield 6? Because that's gonna cost you. That's gonna run you the same amount of money. Or would I get both these games or FIFA? I would get both these games over both the games I previously mentioned. FIFA is a bad game, and FIFA has deteriorated over the years and does not care. And Battlefield 6 is a good game, but is it as good as both of these games? And I would say no. I would say no. Even though I like Battlefield 6 a lot, I like it a lot. I think it's a great return to the genre. I think, honestly, I think the average gamer is going to enjoy Arc Raiders and Dispatch way more. So with that being said, folks, I hope you all have a great day. And as always, remember to junk it out.